Bushcraft 412. Last review of the night. This one here is a Rothco USGI shovel. These are kind of aftermarket, reproduction probably isn't the best word, but they're an aftermarket, kind of fake military issue item. I picked this one up quite a few years ago at an Army Navy store for $6.98. As you can see, it's been a while. This thing, as you can tell, being the stickers on it, has seen very little use over the years. Even though this used to be kind of a mainstay of my backpack, back in my early days of backpacking, I used to bring this thing a lot. I kind of felt it was good weight because it was a good survival tool. And over the years, I've kind of stopped bringing it, to be honest, because it's not suitable for backpacking. A cheap trowel is a plastic trowel is way better when it comes to backpacking. But what we're here about is not as a backpacking tool, but this as a kind of a must-have item for preppers or people, preparing for a shtf scenario. First of all, a shovel like this would be really an awesome item to have if you are bugging out and say you were making like a shelter from scratch and you were going to be in the woods. Excuse me, a little bit sick this week, guys. Say if you're going to be in the woods for a long time, like making your own shelter, this would actually be an excellent item because you can dig yourself a latrine. You can dig trenches to keep water out of your camp. Any digging or whatever needs you may have, digging up roots if you're looking for food, etc. A ton of good uses. Plus, sorry guys, really a little sniffly here tonight. A lot of other uses aside from that. This is also an improvised paddle. If you are making a homemade raft or something like that, this is an improvised paddle. You can sharpen these edges and turn it into kind of a fighting weapon. It's definitely something you can use to defend yourself with. It's pretty heavy. It's close to 2 pounds. And I know there's some lighter models out there and there's some heavier models. A bunch of different people make these. And then plus nowadays you do have like the cold steel model where they're making well, not this, the folding one, but the cold steel makes a nice one, and Marbles Outdoors also makes a pretty neat shovel. But I think no matter what you get, whether you get like this folding military style one, or the cold steel one, or the Marbles one, it's a neat item to have for your bug out kit, or for your preps, just because it's a really neat item for building a long-term camp. If you're just going to be out in the woods for a day or two, this isn't a necessity, but if you're going to be out in the woods for maybe a month, 2 months, something serious happens, and you just got to get out of town and get away from society, this is really something you may need to keep a nice dry camp, by digging trenches so water drains away from your camp, or building structures, or whatever it is you may be building. This is good weight. This 2 pounds is something that won't fail you. Plus, it's an improvised weapon. It's an improvised, digging tool, paddle, you name it. But for the price, these things are like $6. Back when I bought them, so they're probably around 10 now. And plus, like the cold steel and the Marbles ones are only in about the $20, $25 range. That's a good price for the usefulness. And something that may serve to, save your life if you ever are in a bug out situation. And like I said, this isn't, something I would bring backpacking anymore. I've gotten kind of older and don't like the weight of something like this for backpacking, but it sits not too far off from my bug out bag. This particular model came with a nylon belt sheath with the Alice clips on the back. Very nice and sturdy. Nylon too, it's not canvas, so it doesn't have that funky smell to it that all the old military surplus canvas stuff gets. But overall, this is very nice, very solid. The blade doesn't, has a little wobble to it, but not much. If you really are concerned about that, you can definitely upgrade and get more expensive shovels. But I just wanted to kind of point this out because it's a great addition for your preps. It's a cheap addition to your preps, and it's a must-have for long-term bugging out. So, Bushcraft 412 with the tri-fold shovel.